Hello, and welcome to the channel. Here at Five Nine Direct, I like to think that we ask the hard-hitting questions. Some real juicy inquiries come from these noggins up here to you, our community. But I think that one man truly takes the cake. One poor, unfortunate soul over at Rocksteady Studios dares to ask the question, is the Xbox Series S really just a potato in disguise? I have never seen a bigger hater in my life. Why don't we go on over and check out Mr. Lee Devonald, who took a fun trip in the hot potato seat of Twitter last night. Before we do, though, I want to ask that if you are enjoying the video, that you kindly leave a like and consider subscribing so that you can stay up to date on more news, reviews, and other gaming content that we love to produce for you here over at Five Nine Direct. And if you don't enjoy the video, consider leaving a dislike and a comment letting us know what we can improve upon. With that, let's take a stroll on over to a article that has the audacity. Actually, you know what? It's not even the article's fault. It's the man. Rocksteady, sorry, not Rockstar. Rocksteady, we're talking about the Batman people here. Rocksteady developer thinks Xbox Series S is going to hold back this entire generation of games. That is quite the claim. I almost feel like you can call us some bona fide Xbox haters over on this channel. And we don't hate Xbox. It just happens that every podcast, we just unfortunately appear to talk some trash about the Xbox and the games or lack thereof. But that's besides the point. We are talking about Lee Devonald, who is I believe a senior developer at Rocksteady Studios, who shared on Twitter that he believes the Xbox Series S console has hamstrung an entire generation of video games. Now that is almost taken directly from what he said. What I think he said is 10 times funnier. And I'm not really a developer, so maybe what he says is true. I'm not too sure. I feel like this guy knows what he's talking about, and people just got so offended and angry at what he said that they're just not taking him seriously at all. But look, I got no stake in this game. I'm not gonna play this game. I'm just not going to. So whether it has 30 or 60 is irrelevant to me, but I think it is a valid thing to be upset about, because if it happened in a game that I really wanted, I'd probably be pretty upset. I would be. I know I would be. Like, why am I paying for these consoles if not to get next gen level performance? And that's not 30 FPS. It hasn't been since, like, I don't know, 2008 before. I don't know. But if we keep going through this, we're looking at the reason that this happened is a post from Gotham Knights developer Fleur Marty. I hope I said that right. Apologies if I didn't. On Discord is what started today's complex and controversial discourse. Said it wrong. Marty explained that Gotham Knights would not feature a performance mode and that it would only support 30 FPS on console. Yeah, you've read that right here, underlined in orange. Would only support 30 FPS on console, and this decision has been criticized. Criticized is an understatement. They were bombarded, harassed, absolutely just like it was a wave of hate by players who wanted Gotham Knights to support 60 FPS. The way they went about it, not the best, not even close. But again, in this day and age where you're spending $500, some places $550 now with price increases on consoles, and you're paying $70 for a game, I think it's justified to be a little upset that there's no performance mode. But this, outcry of disappointment actually sparked this Rocksteady developer, Lee Devonald, to start making a thread about his thoughts on everyone's disappointment. And it says here in the article, at first his focus is on addressing what 60 FPS means and the trade-offs necessary to reach that. He's a developer. He does know what he's talking about. And he's speaking truth and trying to get people to understand, what goes on behind the scenes and why that sacrifice is necessary. He says it's especially important, and this is where it gets he gets a little under the hot seat, considering we have a current gen console that's not much better than the last one. Now, I saw the replies to that tweet. Immediately, people were like, what do you mean the PS5 is great, or the Xbox Series X is great? A lot of people also saw that he was immediately talking about the Xbox Series S, because he then goes to specifically mention the Xbox Series S GPU, with multi-platform games having to optimize for the lowest performer. Now, that's not unheard of in games, right? Like, I think everyone knows that you have to optimize for the lowest performer, but also, I just don't know what to think about that. I mean, is it really the Xbox Series X's fault, or is it the developers at that point, when I'm pretty sure Cyberpunk 2077 runs at 60 FPS on the Series S? I have like 98% confidence. If I'm somehow in that, if that 2% of me that's wrong is wrong, then oh well. But I'm almost certain. And if Cyberpunk can run at 60 FPS, I think anything can. I don't know. This is really small and impossible to read. And these are just more of the threads that he added to on his Twitter thread that just continued to get him under the hot potato seat. And I can read them here. It's really hard to show you, and I'll explain why it's hard to show you them. But it says, I wish gamers understood what 60 FPS means in terms of all the things they lose to make the game run that fast, especially taking into account that we have a current gen console that's not much better than the last gen console, the Series S. Series S GPU mostly, multi-platform games, lowest platformer, we just talked about that. And then the Series S, though, and Microsoft won't let you launch on one without the other. An entire generation of games hamstrung by that potato. That is what he said. That is a specific quote, and to me that is like 10 times funnier than just saying the hamstrung part. But people got really, really mad at this, and it's not necessarily because of the Xbox tweets. And this article actually doesn't go into it, and unfortunately I can't show you what I'm about to say, but I can at least talk about that his tweets came off very demeaning towards consumers. I mean, extremely. Like, when I read it, I was like, oof, yeah, that's not a good look for a developer like that to just come after consumers who, well, quite frankly, we're not forced to buy your games. So it's like, you probably shouldn't upset your fan base. I don't, the reason I can't show you, though, is I would show you the specific tweets he put, but right before this, I started making this video, I was going to get my evidence off Twitter, and he's gone. For better or worse, I don't know, but Devonald has deactivated his account, and I understand why. I get it. I read a lot of those quote tweets. Everything that man put got ratioed into oblivion. Everything. Whether he was right or wrong, who's to say? Twitter was not happy. I do have a few things that were screenshot. Like we just read the hamstrung by that potato tweet. Again, I think it's funny. He's probably got a point. He is a developer. He understands the hardware. There probably are limitations because of that. But on the other hand, with other games completely able to optimize to get 60 FPS performance, perhaps the developers are prioritizing other things that the consumers would rather they didn't. I think that's the long and short of it. The people making the game are prioritizing resolution, which, it's their game. It's their art. It is theirs to decide with what to do. But you also have to sell the game, and if people don't want it because it's 30 FPS and they wanted 60, then you're gonna have to just suck it up that people aren't gonna want to buy your game. But again, that's not exactly what we're looking at. Another thing is this is the tweets. This is it specifically. And yes, that is his picture. Sorry, my friend. I don't mean to put you on blast, but you are gone from Twitter, so it's not like anyone can go after you again. But it says, I don't know if you knew this, but $60 in 2000 is $93 now due to inflation. We're undercharging you for games and have been for 2 decades. Pay us what we're worth. No, you can't just say that. I mean, that is... No, I'm sorry, like, it's hard to wrap my head around that he really just like went after people. Like, no one's, I mean, sure, people are upset about $70, but it's not like, oh, $70 is so expensive. The main argument people are bringing up $70 for is that why are people paying $70 to get a noticeably worse version of the game than on PC for $60? That $10, as far as everyone was told by, you know, Sony, Microsoft, all these, you know, developers who are pursuing next-gen versions for their titles, is that pays for, you know, extra development costs to make these games as top-notch as they can be on these consoles, and then you still charge that and give people a... No one cares about 4K at 30 FPS, I'm sorry. Most people have 1080p TVs. No one cares about 4K 30 except for the few like me who... I love having a 4K TV, but I'm such a small percentage of gamers. I'm sorry. And people... This, again, this is just this. That is... Not good. And you know, and here it is, right here. The exact sentiment that I'm saying people are coming out. Every time there's news about a game skimping out on basic features, you always get that one dev tweet with hundreds of likes, but it's really hard to do. I don't know why I sound like Patrick from SpongeBob. Your game costs $70 and all PS5, Xbox Series S games have 60 FPS. Stop asking people to lower their already low standards for you. This was in reply to Lee Devonald, who said something. Again, that was some of the nice quote tweets. Oh man, I wish you guys could have seen it when it was live. It's insane. But these are some of the things that he put in his tweets that he put out. F this meme and F the Xbox Series S in particular. Oh, and I'm fairly sure the only way to get the Xbox Series S to run at 60 FPS, anything, let alone FPS, is to roll that potato down the steepest hill you can find. When I tell you that he is a certified hater, I am a dead ass. Like, look at this dude. Can they drop the Series S while they're at it and all of us devs a favor? I don't know if maybe he just had the balls to say what other devs are thinking, or if he's standing alone on an island screaming this kind of stuff out. No one agrees with him, but he really does not like the Series X. He doesn't like it. I think I babbled on. I wish I could give you a lot more context behind this, because man, that was, I don't know. Look, that was not, he got ratio. I'm telling you, things like these, 6 quote tweets, 40 likes. I'm telling you, those other things, he was getting like, oh man, he was getting like 400, 500 quote tweets and like 100 likes. This dude was getting blasted by Twitter. And I don't know if I'm the one to say if he was right or wrong. I would love to know your guys' thoughts, though. There's a couple things I'd love to know. Do you think he's got a point? Do you feel that the Xbox Series S is just a potato in disguise? I'm asking you that genuinely this time. And if you're getting Gotham Knights, do you feel disappointed now? Are you still going to get it? If you were on the fence, are you going to get the game? I want to know. I was never going to get the game anyway, so I'm out of this. This has nothing to do with me. But I would love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. This has been me, Christian, here at 5-9 Direct. And, you know, I hope you guys have a better night than Lee Devonald did on Twitter. And I will catch you guys next time.